Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'll be talking about single cell protein or SCP, a microbial based solution that's gaining a lot of attention as an alternative protein source. So let's get into it. So, what exactly is SCP? In simple terms, it's the dried biomass of microorganisms like bacteria, yeast, and fungi, or even algae, grown specifically to be used as a protein source, either in animal feed or human food. Now, the term itself was coined at MIT back in 1966 to describe microbial biomass cultivated purely as a protein supplement. Now, what makes it exciting is that it doesn't depend on the land the way traditional proteins do. And the numbers back this up. The bacterial SCP can reach up to 80% crude protein content by dry weight. Compare that to soybean, which is around 40%, or beef at 43%. So, we are talking about a protein source that not just sustainable but incredibly concentrated. Now, why do we even need an alternative to conventional protein? Now, there are few reasons. First, population growth. The UN projects that we'll hit 9.7 billion people by 2050, and arable land per person keeps shrinking. Traditional agriculture and livestock farming needs huge amount of land, water, and time. On top of that, we generate massive amounts of agro-industrial waste that's usually just discarded. But it can actually be converted into protein and microorganisms multiply within us. So SCP can produced in days, not entire growing seasons. So that's a huge advantage. Now, SCP can come from four major microbial groups. Bacteria like Methylophilus methylotropis gives the fastest growth and the highest protein content up to 80%. Yeast like think Saccharomyces cerevisiae that are actually the traditional choice and they grow well on cheap substrates like molasse and whey. Then we have filamentous fungi like Furanium venetatum which have a fibrous texture making them a great for meat and analog products. And finally algae, spirulina and chlorella which are photosynthetic so they just need light CO2 and water to grow. Now, one of the best parts of SCP production is that it runs on low cost, often waste derived feedstocks. That includes agricultural residue like molasse, rice bran, and dairy byproducts, like cheese whey and even industrial wastewater from paper or distillery plants. Some processes use petrochemical sources like methanol, and others use uh, lignocellulosic biomass like wood waste and photosynthetic strains. Just need carbon dioxide, light, and minerals. So essentially, we are turning waste streams into a valuable product. Now, here's how it actually comes together, which is like a step-by-step process. It starts with a substrate and strain selection. So, choosing the right feedstock and a safe, non-toxic micromaterial strain. Then the medium is sterilized and inoculated with that culture. Next comes the fermentation. Now, this is the core stage where the microorganisms grow aerobically in a bioreactor and then oxygen supply, pH, and temperature are all tightly controlled because this is something that directly determines the yield and quality. After that, the biomass is harvested through centrifugation or filtration, then goes through downstream processing. Now, cell disruption, RNA reduction, and washing to purify the protein. Finally, it's all dried and packed into a stable powder ready to use. Now, so where is SCP actually used? The biggest current application is animal and poultry feed, where it supplements protein in cattle, poultry, and swine diets. It's also very widely used in aquaculture as a sustainable substitute for fish meal. Beyond feed, it's used as a human food supplement. Spirulina, yeast-derived SCP show up in health foods and meat analogs. It's also a source for pharmaceuticals and enzymes help in valorize waste. And it is even being studied for space and emergency rations because it's very compact and grows fast. Now, of course, like any technology, SCP comes with its own trades-off. On plus sides, high protein content, rapid growth, independence from climate and land, and the ability to produce waste as raw material. It's also very, very rich in vitamins and amino acids and minerals. But there are real limitations too. High RNA content can rise uric acid levels in human if not managed. There's a risk of allergenic or toxic residues if it's not properly purified. It often has a distinct taste or odor that needs to be masked. The equipment for sterile fermentation is very capital intensive. And honestly, consumer acceptance is still like a psychological barrier that we need to overcome. Now, these are the key references that I drew on this presentation, so feel free to check them out for a deeper dive. So, yes, that brings me to the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for listening.